Okay, so we're on page 35, and we've got 3 new chords and a new strum rhythm. So let's jump right in. If you look at D minor, it's one note different from D major, but we're going to use 2 different fingers. If you take a look, or we're having to switch 2 fingers. Here's D major, and then here's D minor. So what changes? The F sharp becomes an F natural, and that's what gives it that minor sound. We flatten the 3rd degree of the chord. Okay, so this chord is spelled 1, flat 3, 5, D, F, A. And if you analyze the chord, it's D, A, D, F. It doesn't always have to occur in that order, but it has those 3 notes. Here's D minor. Later in the book, we might play this with our 4th finger, but for now, we're going to play it this way, 2, 3, 1. The G7 is a 4-note chord, okay? Just like C add 9 was. So we have our 1, 3, 5, and our flat 7. And if you look at the fingering, it's a little bit of a stretch. It's very similar to our C major. Here's C major. Just widen your hand. 3, 2, comes down. 3, 2, comes down. First finger goes up. Okay, so it goes. Same shape as C, just widened up, okay, expanded. If you look at F major, this is our first bar chord. And some of you may know the full bar chord. I don't want you to play that. I want you to play this smaller bar. Okay, and let's talk about the bar. What a bar is, we use this a lot in guitar, where we play multiple notes with just 1 finger. Okay, so, that was a bar of all 6 strings. Okay, bar chords, we'll get into these later in the book. For now, we're just gonna bar with our first finger on the top 2 strings. Okay, and so I want you to start out. You'll notice that, if you look at I'm pulling my fingers back so they're out of the way. Don't play like that. You'll notice that my first finger is barring and pressing down behind the 1st fret on both the note C and the note F. So I want you to first try that. It's going to take some strength. You have to press pretty hard and press right behind the frets. Try moving it around a little bit. And this is all, of course, assuming that your guitar is set up nicely and easy to play. If you have a guitar, the strings are super high, the action is high, you'll never play this. It won't ring good. Won't ring well. Otherwise, give yourself a week or 2 to be patient. Practice this, you'll get it, guaranteed. But at first, bar chords seem really hard. Now, I recommend that people first just practice that shape. Just move it around a little bit, press down. Then put your 2nd finger in. Move that around. And then the 3rd finger. Now let's talk about it. The 3rd and 2nd finger have to be arched, like I've been saying all along. Whenever you play any note, I want you to really arch in those fingers. So I want you to arch with the 3rd and 2nd. But it's very difficult to arch and bar because they're 2 contrary motions, right? The barring, your wrist wants to come back. The arching, your wrist wants to come forward. So what I do is I kind of compromise. First of all, you'll notice my first finger is not hitting straight in, it's hitting on the side. Also, I pop this knuckle up sometimes, like this. So I go. So can you see how there's a little bit of a pop in that first knuckle there, just so that it feels comfortable to still arch. If you can't do this, if your anatomy of your hand doesn't do that, don't worry about it. Then you can just flatten it out but hit on the side. But this way, for me, it's nice because I know I can really arch nicely and I can bar. So this chord, it's going to take you a while to learn it, but then you get all these other chords out of it. It's a movable shape, meaning this is F major, G major, A major, B major, C major, whatever the note is in your 3rd finger and your 1st finger, that's the name of the chord or the root of the chord. So you get all these chords through this work. So it's really worth it. So to review, D minor, G7, and F major. Chords 3, top of page 35.